Welcome to a Wild Hearts guide. This guide isn't going to be about battling or cooking or anything like that. It's actually going to be about optimizing your map, specifically getting to your monsters and or the kimono in this case. And also, just finding a good place to settle down. Now, I placed my main camp. I call it my main camp because it's the one that I'll be going to mostly when I come into the world alone over here at the abandoned inn, mostly because of the water, and also it's super easy to get to a well. The well is just down here. I'm also out of the way of the kimono that come through, just slightly, so they won't destroy my base. It's just right here. Now, what I mean by optimizing your map specifically to get to the monsters quicker, some might have already caught on. Notice how I have four kind of spread out around. The only area that I would consider takes a while to get to is right here. And when I am able to make another camp, I'll be placing one like right here. That way I'll be able to easily get to it. But for right now, that's going to be the kind of crutch in this case. So the first thing you want to do before you even attempt this, I guess you could start it beforehand, is find your routes, or in this case, collect everything that you can, especially the Tsukumo, because you want to make sure that your map is specifically just for hunting. So this is primarily for hunting. It's not for collecting anything. I've collected everything on the map that I need to, so now I can optimize my map as I want. So what I did was, we'll go back. So as you can see, uh, the entire camp here is pretty bare. The only thing here is the well, which is mandatory at the beginning, the camp or the tent, and the search scanner thing for the kimono. And the reason that these are the only two here is in case you accidentally start here, you can immediately start for the scanner and then go from there. And then I also have a scanner at my main base, and there are two scanners spread out here. Pretty simple. One's in the center. This one's hitting that one. That one's hitting this one so that it can get basically the majority of it. The only places not getting hit are basically, it doesn't really matter. The kimono don't go there. Now this map is, or the way that I made this is pretty effective for me. The only thing that is kind of a crutch in a sense that I would define, it's more of just I have to run to it, is right here. I could probably put a vine here, but I'm just waiting until I get the ability to make another tent. Then I'm just going to place it right here, and I'll be fine. But essentially what I have it is I have the entire map filled with the scanner, and then I have zip lines going to basically anywhere I need to go. And if I don't already have a zip line going to that area, I'm probably just gonna run there from wherever camp because it's pretty close. I'll show you what I mean. So say at the beginning with the rat that comes at the beginning, so you're gonna be coming around here over here, right? So you want to get there as fast as possible. Most people end up, you can already see where I already have it. Most people end up just kind of zipping down here, and it takes quite a little while. But I placed one right here at the very beginning, and it goes pretty far. I didn't even place it from this portion. I started from up there and shot it down here. And it's so much faster. Now, at this part, you could either jump down, or you can make another zip line, or just, you know, put some type of the paraglider to kind of fly down. But it's all on a matter of how you want to do it. There's obviously, better ways of getting down. You could probably put a fan here, but it'll just get destroyed. That's why I didn't want to put another zip line right here, because I want to make sure I prioritize everything quickly. Then, of course, after the kimono runs away, it'll go up to the next area, in which case we can easily get there from here. Right here. Because he will basically just go right here. Now, from this point, I didn't put a zipline here. I probably will at some point, but I'm going to wait till I max out the area. in which case I would put one right here. But this would be the main area that I would... It's like the second area that would probably be a little bit of a crutch in a sense, because it's still a long walk. It's quite a bit of a distance. But I do have a zip line coming to here. It's just still a bit of a walk. Afterwards, the rat would say, go down here. You can easily get there through here, so you could probably just go with regular Karakuri from here and just get it right there. Now, let's say we were doing the Raven. And the Raven starts in primarily right here. But sometimes you'll start here, or sometimes you'll start over here. So we're going to start with this one right here, because I love this area right here. So what I did is I found this cliff up on the side. And I put a camp here, specifically because it hits this water. This is where the bull would go. This is where the Scar Scourge would go, usually. So this is a pretty easy area to just teleport to from wherever you're running to if they're gonna head over here. And it's very easy to telegraph where they're going. You just gotta watch the map on which they're heading, and you're actually saving time than when you were to be chasing them down and trying to figure out where they're going. And here, this is a very complicated thing. I say complicated, it's more just difficult. So once you get up here, you're gonna find a whole bunch of people doing this, because for some reason they made it so you can't jump from one Karakuri to another. I hope that's either changed or something. It would be nice, but you can't jump from one Karakuri to another. That's why I have two here. Well, that, and it also doesn't reach. So what you want to do is, as soon as you get to this portion, you jump off. Just casually jump off. You won't fly too far. You won't go to the ground. But I put that there specifically for the people who do fly off, because it's easy to get back up here. Afterwards, you can go back up here. And you're at the top, where you'll meet either the Raven or the Scar Scourge. Or the Bull, sorry. But even if you don't, you can still use it. Like, say they were going down to that temple area. I put one right here, specifically, so that they could reach the temple. Now, I could put another one down over there, but there's no real big point. That's kind of a waste of material. You could easily just do this and drop off. And if you see right there, you can see my scanner on top of the building. That way it does not get interrupted, and it's also in the center of everything else. Now, this area hits essentially 3, I would say 2.5 areas that would be targeted for Kimono to attack. Actually, let's go with 3.5, because this area right over here also is popular for the bull on occasion. Because you can just go through this cave and you're at one of the areas. He's usually going to be like down here in this little mud pit. So this camp hits about 3.5, the half being the temple down here. There's probably a better way of getting there, but I haven't figured it out just yet. Now this one hits 4 places. This is not why I made it my main home. I made it my main home because it was just large and I liked the way it kind of resembled a town. Now, when I say 4, the 4 areas are the temple right here where the rat goes. This is where the lava back and the raven come to. And then this one, well, I guess 5, because I keep forgetting that this area up here counts as 1. It's just I don't see them go up here that often. And then right where the rat is, that's another one right there. So that's 4 of the areas. Now where's the 5th? The 5th I actually have to use a zip line for. And it's very effective from where I put my camp, because I can start off, say I teleported here, and he needs to get here where the bull is. So we got to get to the bull real quick. Now, most people take like this camp and then zip line down pretty quick, I would say, but I like my form a little bit better because you just quickly get up here and then you zip line all the way around. That was a mess up. I usually don't hit the wall, but I think I jumped off too early. Then you just jump through here, and you can even get a well right here. So this is also an area you could probably place your camp if you wanted to. The thing is, you're minimizing more. You're kind of reducing some. So once you put it here, you'll get this one super easy, and you'll get these two a little bit longer. But you could probably put zip lines. But it's so much easier to get here. This is a popular area for the kimono to go to, at least for the big kimono. The smaller kimono don't really care too much for this one, it seems. I'm not too far in the game, so I wouldn't be able to say everything. But if you were wanting to like make this your main base up here next to the thing, you could put a zip line to there, a zip line over there where the raven goes in, and one not all the way down because it is limited on range, but you could put one at the tree probably. Meaning you could have 3 zip lines right here and hit all 3, but that is quite a lot of zip lines. I can still make more. They're not that expensive. They're pretty cheap, but I prefer to minimize how much I use so that I can basically make my camp whatever I want in case it needs a lot of leaves or something. At the moment, no, it doesn't. And then up here, there's not much. I was using this quite a bit, but I might just tear this place down a little bit. Haven't figured out. It is a pretty good area to get, a couple animals, not too many, a couple resources, but also it's very nice for going down if you need to. This hits essentially 2 areas because this can also hit this portion right here. But whenever you're able to make a camp, that won't really matter too much. So this camp right here is kind of a dead camp, in my opinion. It's something that isn't really too required. Now, one of the things that I do need to do soon, but is after you've collected everything, you can actually clean up some of this stuff, like these wind tunnels. They're not needed because all you really need is zip lines, but also the wind tunnels don't really take up leaves, so you can use them for something else as well if you need to. So if you need them for traversing to certain areas that you think are probably a bit of a pain, or you can use them also to say get to, let's say we want to get to the rope that gets up here. Now, usually if it goes from the temple down there, see, I even jumped off earlier, and it happens. It's fine. It doesn't take too much stamina to get up here, so it's not too bad. It's still faster than trying to chase the kimono. But say you wanted to get to the temple to here. And they went, it was like the raven, and the raven decided, hey, I want to go all the way up here. I want to smell the grass or something, smell the flowers. But this is pretty high up. I made it sure it was pretty high up so that they didn't actually hit it, because having to wait for it does take some time. So what you could probably do is watch the glitches in the game for a while. Is say place this right here, and then zip line all the way up there. It does save quite a bit of time. So the tunnels aren't useless, of course. That's always going to be the case. They're not useless. It's more of they have less use than the vines. The vines are like superior when it comes to traveling. Now, of course, I There are other ways of traveling around. You got, say, the cannon, the catapult, but the vine is probably the best one when it comes down to it. Where is it? There it is. Because the catapult, I haven't figured it out yet. Once I do, if I can find out how to zip around the map like this, that'll be awesome. But the problem is, look at how high you are. That's dangerously high from just dying. I say dying, it's more like falling and passing out. It's kind of not worth it, the catapult. I think it's more of a weapon tool, but I haven't figured it out yet. But also, like I said before, you can make any of these camps your main camp. Obviously, the tree trunk camp is pretty good on its own. It's got the well. It's got protection from everything. There's no chance of a kimono coming up here at all. The same thing goes for the Crystal Clear Cave. The Crystal Clear Cave is fantastic. There is no way a kimono would be fighting you on this hill. So you can actually make an entire camp around here. Putting your food and all that. The only issue with it, I mean, there's water down here, and you can probably put your boats. I mean, you definitely can put your boats, but I wouldn't recommend it because there's too many things. But there is a well down there at the glowing tree. If you need to get to it. Not very likely that you'll need to get to them that much. But also, let me see if this will work. Can't really see it very well. I'm assuming at the moment that you could probably easily get to here. Yeah, never mind. I thought this was going to be a crutch. So this one's been upgraded from like a 3.5 to a 4.5. Hits 4.5 places. So 1 down at this lake right here at this massive area. So that's 3. And then here, 4. So this is going to be the main base to hit these areas. And then this will be the main base to hit these areas. Not this one, sorry. Mostly these areas. And this one will just basically be for this. This one can be used for this, but I feel like there's going to be a better way. I'll figure something out. And it'll probably have to do with like a zip line from here to here. Like right here. And then to here. But it's not necessarily too big of an issue. But this is the most, in my opinion, the most optimal way when it comes to hunting. Because when they start running around, you definitely want to be on top of them. And not just grabbing on them, trying to use your hunter's arm on top of them. Like, legit, just be there before they get there. And so you can see it a little bit in action. I'll go ahead and start attacking this dude. Alright, get to where you need to go. So, now he's headed. Where is he headed? Oh, I don't have the thing on. So, let me just start up. Whoops. Since I don't have him on radar, it is a bit harder to find him, but I know, I probably know where he's going. Yeah, he was headed down there anyways. This also makes it super easy to memorize the map because you don't need to know everything on the map, just a generic amount. Oh, I don't have any card curry thread. All right, now let's say he went down and ran over here. Now all we got to do is just jump to this area, this part of the map, and then we're here. And then at this point, you would probably see him start running in. And then say he ran off and now his next area would probably be up here. Sometimes he really likes going up here. So we would just either run up to the camp or teleport. I like to just teleport. Saves me from moving my hand. And then... too early. And while he's still running over here, you're just waiting for him. There's many different ways. Definitely share them with people. Obviously, you know, make it your own, because this is your version of the world. I just like my version, and I like to also clean up the messes around. Or not like to, it's annoying because, you know, people will leave these. I didn't even place this right here. This was just there. Because people will come in and start putting stuff down in your world. You know. They'll just start doing that, and it's just like taking up so much space. I have to clean up. Obviously, I don't have to. I just prefer to, because when you go into a battle, you want it kind of barren, unless you have it a specific way, like you set it up beforehand. But definitely, when it comes down to it, get rid of the things you're not using, clean up your map so that it's easier also for other people who you want helping you to understand where the routes are. Because sometimes people will look at the map, sometimes people will just run towards the monster, or towards the kimono. And that would be much more beneficial if they could get to you at the same time that you're waiting for the kimono, rather than you starting the attack before them, which I've had multiple times because I know my map better than them. So I know where to go, but then I'll be like, immediately teleport over here, or fast travel over here. So I'll go up here, run around, and now I'm waiting for the Raven. Now I'm waiting for Lava back. Doesn't matter what. I'm here before them. And then I see that the Raven's just like coming in. Where's everybody else? They're still running towards. Still running. Now I could easily just continue on the attack, but it's very dangerous if you're going to get something that can one-shot you for sure. But that's my optimization of your map guide, at least for the Hagawa Way map. I'll probably be doing another one for the future maps, or for the other maps as well, like the Isle and the Valley. But for now, this is just the Hagawa map optimization. Thanks for watching. If you like it, if you like the video, leave a like, and I will make another one, of course. I'll probably do it anyways, whether you like it or not, but it would be appreciated. Thank you, and have a nice day, evening, night. Either one's fine.